Right, I'm standing in the corner wanting attention, so that means I'm going to say a few words. I've already told you how much David and I meant to each other and how much we loved each other. But what I didn't go into is how much he made me laugh. Sometimes deliberately, sometimes not. One of the things that I've done over the last few years is have a quotes file on my phone for all the words, all the wisdom that has popped out of his mouth. And I've split this up into categories to share with you today. Oh, what's going on? Oh, print. All right. Okay, so the first one is food. Very dear to his heart. Reading the Waitrose customer magazine. The problem with Waitrose is it's so aspirational. And then 5 minutes later, I think I'm going to have some smashed avocado on toast with salsa. Okay, straight on to the next one. I wonder what bubblegum flavour ice cream tastes like. This one was in the middle of making some beetroot soup. He said, some people don't like beetroot, they find it too beetrooty.
That's me. I do find beetroot too beetroot.
Did see purple as well. Right, on hearing Sainsbury's was going to open at 9 AM for elder and more infirm people during lockdown, he said, it'll be full of old people. I'll kick them in the groin and steal their food. This is what husband's saying. Right, watching his favourite TV chef, Rick Stein, David said, I've got a fondue outfit. And I said, what, like a special apron and a chef's hat that you only wear for fondue? And he said, no, the pot and the burner in the stand. Being anti-climax. Next one. I'm stockpiling rice and lentils because of Brexit. And he wasn't wrong. Graham, how many have we got left?
Oh, we've got
50 years, Are they still in date?
mostly.
Okay. Right. Then we were having breakfast one morning, and I said, I like this Frankfurter. And they replied, it's a German one. Just to make sure. He said, I was in Sainsbury's, and you know what? I'm shocked to see they're now selling tins of sardines with the bones taken out. That's bonkers, they're the best thing. He was cooking dinner one day and he said, I'm going to put some beans in this lasagna just to beef it up a bit. And I said, surely that will actually be beefing it down. This one's been adapted into our household now. He's explaining the carb content of a forthcoming tuna salad he's making, because obviously I need to, because I'm diabetic. It's going to have exactly 1 sweet potato in it. And I said, that's like saying it's exactly as long as 1 piece of string. Okay, next category is looking back in time. Now, when you're old, you always talk about how things were before, and he was no exception. So, in no particular order, would it be nice to have had more ice cream in the 50s? Maybe that's just individual to him, I don't know. Right, we didn't have the periodic table when I was at school. Our chemistry teacher was really old-fashioned. Is that true, Pat? Also, and I didn't know this either, Halloween hadn't been invented when I was at school. And this one really surprised me. Scissors, paper, stone wasn't around when I was young.
Oh, that's one.
Can you believe that? Right. This is a bit of a story. When I was in the 5th form of school, one of the big topics was whether the UK should or shouldn't join the common market. And we all knew the German verb for it. And it was Wirtschaftsgemeinschaft mit. If that was any longer, it would have gone over 2 right. He said, I found a receipt the other day for a meal I had at an Austrian restaurant in London. And he goes on to tell me about the meat, the sauerkraut, and the Black Forest Gâteau. It cost 10 shillings. And he followed it up with, metrication was introduced halfway through all my architect exams. I had to relearn everything. It was like being bilingual. Okay. This is what David said once, and Brad probably said it more than once. When I was young, there weren't many sweets around. So if an old man had them, you were very interested. And final one from this category. When I was young, I got given some Meccano from my cousins. But I didn't want to make silly things in the Meccano handbook. I wanted to make something dynamic, like a bridge. It just stands there. Right, he was very proud of Yorkshireman, as we know. And I've got a little quote final bit about Yorkshire. So he said, "Oh, I'm going to watch Last of the Summer Wine. It reminds me of Yorkshire." Talking about an upcoming family reunion, he said, "I remember when my mum had to go to Bradford just to buy garlic." And this is true, he honestly said this. "The border between Yorkshire and Lancashire is well into the Lancashire side." Apparently he was talking about the Pennines. Right, he's tried to interact with me with discussion about sport, which wasn't really his specialist subject. But we've got here, "Oh, the French would hate it if English Ryder won the Tour de France. It would be like a French cricket team winning the Ashes." The commentator on the football match, and it's Jose Mourinho's name being chanted by the fans, and they've said, "Oh, they're singing it to Verdi." Then he said, "Does Sky still have their golf team? You know, like their cycling team?" And I said, "There aren't really teams in golf." And he said, "I thought I had one, you know, to win the Ryder Cup." And I said, "I think you need to be a continent to do that." Looked at the England football team formation on Sky Sports News. I was at home, I wasn't at work. He said, "I'm impressed the England team only has English players in it." And I was like, and he said, "Oh, I mean, except they've only got English sounding names, except Ali." Right, that's...
Sportingly, his cousin is famous, isn't he?
Yes.
John Bentley's famous for that try.
Yes. And, yeah, they didn't get any of those genes. I don't think. Right, television. This is, Martin, you'll laugh when I say this, and I won't tell you why. Watching Pointless, where the contestants have to name a country beginning with 2 consonants, and he said, "Egypt." Watching TV just before midnight, not sure what the program was, he said, "Chris Akabushi has got a fantastic living room. It's all panelled and everything." Obviously impressed. He also said, "Years ago, Coronation Street used to be about northern things. It's not anymore." And okay, so this is one. Shouting through to the kitchen while I'm making my dinner. He said, "Oh, it's Bake Off. Oh, it's celebrities." And I replied, "Your husband's making himself a pizza. Why don't you watch him? I've been at work for 30 hours." And this is a legendary quote. Watching Miss Marple. "You see that man there, Mr. Pearson? I'm distantly related to him." And I said, "How? He's a character in Miss Marple," but he meant the actor. Right, we're doing well with this. Next category, logic failures. So you'll be trying to find a meaning for this. Okay, so when it was lockdown, we did a virtual Eurovision where we played through all the videos and rated them. And during the second quarter final, he said, "No, I don't like it as much as the Iceland song." And Graham said, "This is the Iceland song." In context, he said, "What's that woman that you say hey to?" And I said, "Alexa?" "Yes." And I said, "She's not a woman. She's a voice-operated smart device made up of hardware and software." And then Dave replied, "So is Harry Redknapp." I don't know what he was thinking there. Approaching and shaking the kitchen. "Simon, where's that thing beginning with S? I can't remember the name for it." And I thought, "What, creatine?" And he said, "Yeah, that's right." Here's a good one. He said, "My dad gave me one of those multicoloured biros when I was a kid." I said, "Did they have them in those days?" And he said, "Yeah, it had 3 colours, red, green and blue." I said, "But not black." And he said, no, hold on, it might have been white. and then he said, no, I don't think so. So he actually figured himself out there. Right, Hugh said, where's your car parked? They said, downstairs in the car park. And I just thought, when's the last time a car wasn't downstairs? On June the 28th, which coincidentally is tomorrow's birthday, but that's not relevant. Hugh's made me a dentist appointment with his dentist, but it's not until July. For a second. And this is legendary. He said, I like butter when it's quite runny. I'm surprised they haven't developed a drawer in the fridge where it keeps it at room temperature. and I just had to reply, surely that would just be the same as not putting it in the fridge. Right, the last category is slightly more edgy. You're going to have to stop me or else I'm going to go to the end. So when it gets too much for people, just tell me. I'll stop, I promise. Right, okay, so we're lowering the tone a bit now. There seems to be a lot of dogging in the Midlands. I speak with past experience. Yes, there is a lot of porn on my tablet, but it's there for artistic reasons. This is a bit of a generalisation. I think you'll find that people have big cocks in my experience.
In my experience,
Right now,
enough.
The rest of them like that?
yes. No.
Did it get worse?
I'm not going to say that last one. I'll tell you this one. So this was in the middle of the night. So he was probably talking about a dream. And he said, I was having sex with the guy and he had a beak. And I said, was he sexy apart from that? And he said, no, but he had a nice flat. Totally out of context. He said, this is obviously on the internet, I would think. Oh, there's a guy in Middlesbrough who wants to wear panties for me. Apparently. And yeah, I'm going to stop there. All right. Guys, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for coming. You've made it a very memorable day. And I actually don't want it to end. So thank you very much.